What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Again, I really want to have a serious conversation revolving around that of interracial dating. And of course, interracial dating is pretty large of a topic. Once you deal with it from the perspective, listen to what I'm going to say, the black community. Okay? When we talk about this situation, you know, we really don't like it. But the real situation is that when black men do it. What about when black women do it? When black men interracially date and fail, it's a aha. But when black women do it and fail, everybody's quiet. Not today, though, okay? Here's what I want to talk about, because this is a very sad story. You have a very extremely beautiful young lady, Mame Amua, recently moved to Miami. I need to go to Miami if the women look like her, because she's fine, all right?
He ain't lying.
Now, let me just say this. She got involved with this other person, right? But I want to play the clip of what happened to the young lady, because nobody had any answers until now. So we're going to play that particular clip, and then I'm going to come back.
We begin tonight with the search for a killer and a mother's plea for justice. A 26-year-old woman was found murdered in her downtown Miami apartment.
A year later, police have yet to make an arrest. And here's the thing. For the victim's mother, it doesn't make any sense why detectives can't at least narrow down their pool of suspects. Take a listen.
Somebody has to allow you to go in that building. You can't just go in that building without you having a key or somebody allowing you to go in.
CBS 4's Carly Barnett spoke at length with that mother, and Carly joins us live now with more. Carly?
Well, Lauren, Elliott, that is exactly the reason that this mother is convinced that her daughter must have known her killer. Certainly a heart-wrenching interview. She says every day she holds out hope for news of an arrest.
And that's when my son called me. He said, "Mom, the police said Mommy was shot last night."
Jonelle Jackson recounts the moment she received the devastating news her daughter, 26-year-old Mame Amua, had been murdered.
I had just spoken to her that night because it was like 2 days to Mother's Day, and I have bought a ticket for us to go on the Mother's Day boat cruise.
On May 6, 2021, Amua was found shot in the neck at the Caoba Apartments in downtown Miami. Jackson says her daughter had moved to South Florida at the start of the pandemic and had a bright future.
She had a clothing line. Yeah, she had a lashes line. She went to school for beautician.
According to the Miami Police Department report from that night, the 911 call came in around 1:30 a.m. The report mentions a witness whose name was redacted kneeling by Amua saying, "I love you and please breathe."
I want the truth to be told. I want to know what went on. I know it's not going to bring my daughter back.
One person was detained for questioning, but no one has been arrested for the crime. Jackson says she's still waiting for her daughter to have justice.
And somebody took her life, and the person that took her life is like walking around like nothing happened.
Well, we reached out to Miami police to see where the case stands. They said they forwarded our request to the homicide unit.
So guys, now we know who the individual is. This guy by the name of Rana, okay? Mr. Rana had a stripper in the house, all right? The girlfriend, Mame Amua, was knocking on the door. Hyder Rana opened the door, shot this young lady, killed her. What did he try to do? Okay. He tried to say it's a self-defense thing. Look at this. She was knocking on the door, trying to get in there, trying to hang out with him because she's so over in love. Now, I don't know why. I mean, looking at the guy, I don't understand this, right? But that's what happened. He has another woman in there. Now, here's what I want to talk about, because You know, I hear the talking points all the time. Protect black women. Black men are so vicious towards black women, all this other stuff. I can get that, right? Violence against women is always bad, especially if it's your own men in the community doing it towards women. I have no respect for that. Here's the problem though, okay? Now, she's not African American. She seems to be, that's a West African last name, Amua. So, but the problem is this. How come you go over to some other community? I believe it's Ghanaian, possibly. Then you go and you deal with men in these other communities that have no standards and have no respect for you as a black woman or as an African woman. And how did they treat you? I can tell you, sometimes even worse than the black men treat you. I've been all over Africa. Know what I've run into? So many African women that have babies by these other guys, other quote unquote. What am I talking about? Oh, they have babies by Turkish guys, Chinese guys, white guys. And the guys came and got them pregnant and then they went back and left the babies here. Then they leave the kids here. Now you have this African woman or black woman now with this mixed child, which is almost for certain similar to like a death sentence for her to get married to an African man, because it's probably not going to happen. Because everybody's going to know that ain't his kid. All right? How many times have you heard in the last year so many of these relationships going on, even with some of these black women? I'm talking about same-sex relationships. I've covered that, the violence in those communities, and also the relationships you're seeing with black women being abused by non-black men that get swept underneath the rug. Here's what needs to be talked about. A lot of these young ladies out here have low self-esteem. Okay? And while you're talking about, you know, black men, you know, need to step up and be serious, you know, hey, a lot of these ladies are doing friends with benefits with other guys. It ain't just us. Friends with benefits. Okay? And these guys, some of these guys are just as unfaithful as black men are unfaithful. And they don't want to be with them in the same way. All right? The dude said she was blowing up his phone. He didn't want her. Why? Because women got to stop. And it's not her fault that she got shot, because she should deserve to die. But what I'm saying is this. If black men are not involved in the way that these young women are choosing their mates, that got to be talked about. If you're going to have the same problems outside of black community that you have with non-blacks, then what? Like, how do you come across these men? Okay. Allegedly, she called him 18 times in 24 hours. He was stringing her along. I thought black men are the only guys that string women along. I mean, the lady was exceptionally beautiful. I wish she would have called me 18 times. I would have answered at least one of them, because the lady was fine. But it happens all the time. Women are not holding themselves to a level of a standard and making men have some respect for them. So wherever you go, there you are. There you are, wherever you go. You're going to have the same problems. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. We're out.